Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're a few minutes past the hour, and so some folks might be joining us, but Vignesh and I thought we could go ahead and kick it off with some intros. So I will kick it to Vignesh.
Yeah, welcome everyone to Red, White, and Brown's inaugural event. What will people say? Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. Excited to see everyone on here. We are thrilled to have you here. Red, White, and Brown, just to let you, those of you who are not familiar, launched in the lead up to the 2016 election to explore issues that are facing the South Asian American community through published posts on Medium and now a Substack newsletter. If you don't already subscribe, we'll throw the link in the chat as well now and encourage you to check us out.
So Vignesh and I used to work together, and when I learned about his side project, I reached out to him to get involved. Together on Red, White, and Brown, we have tried some different ways of engaging members of the South Asian community through WhatsApp and an Instagram campaign. And now, for the first time, we are trying another mechanism, live storytelling. So if you know me, my name's Beena Raghavendran. I have been pretty obsessed with playwriting during the pandemic, and for our show tonight, I wrote some short scenes about issues I know members of our community regularly deal with. And then I recruited some friends and family, very generous friends and family, to perform these scenes. What you're going to see tonight is still a work in progress, but I'm really thankful to our performers and for this opportunity to get your feedback. We are really excited to share this work with you tonight.
Yeah, really excited that Beena wrote these plays. And the hypothesis that we're trying to test is this. You know, if we share stories about our community in a live format like this, specifically soliciting feedback, we're kind of predicting people will hopefully talk to us, tell us more stories. To help us test this hypothesis, we're hoping you'll share your feedback with us during and after these performances. You could do that in a couple ways. In the Zoom chat that you see here, and then over also on WhatsApp at this phone number. It's a real phone that Beena and I have access to. It's 646-481-3221. We'll throw that number in the chat as well, but you can WhatsApp us a message as well. Feel free to unmute yourself during the discussion sections if you'd like to share feedback that way. What you tell us is critical to our work. We may write or tell more stories based on themes that you share, but we're not going to put your name in any published work or share specifics about your story, of course, without confirming with you first, if that's okay. And just another programming note for this evening, we're recording the Zoom call and we'll be posting it on YouTube following the event. We had some folks in Europe where it's late at night who wanted to join later on. So that's why we're also offering some private ways that you can share feedback with us too.
We want to emphasize that first and foremost, this is a safe space here. We're going to be moderating the discussion, but please refrain from any personal attacks. We want everyone to feel comfortable sharing any feedback that they have. And without further ado, we're going to be kicking things off with our first short scene, which is a play I wrote called Krish. It stars Anjal Shrivastava, Jay Patel, and Isha Rao. Throughout this scene, there are a few discussion questions that we'd like you to keep in mind. You can put your thoughts right in the Zoom chat, you can WhatsApp message them to us, or you can save your thoughts and unmute during the discussion section. The questions are, first, how does pushing for stellar academic achievement help members of our community, and how does it hurt? Second, why is there such a community stigma around asking for help? We see this in academic settings, but also around mental health. And third, does this scene make you think about other stories regarding achievement and pressure in our community? Are those stories being told? Without further ado, I will kick it to our performers to begin the scene.
Aruna, can you hear us? Where is she? I'm so sorry to keep you waiting, Ms. Patel.
I'm finishing a work thing. 1 minute.
Don't keep her waiting. Please hurry. I'm so sorry, Ms. Patel. Her work at the hospital has really been picking up this week.
No problem at all. That must be really stressful.
It is. Thank you for meeting with us and for talking with me. I'm just I feel so lost. This won't be easy.
Mr. Varma, it's a really hard time. Like we talked about on the phone the other day. Give yourself some grace.
Thank you. And please call me Dev.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Work has been a total nightmare. I'm Aruna, Dr. Aruna Anand Verma.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Jaya Patel.
Pleasure. So is it the parent teacher conference thing? Doesn't that usually happen earlier in the year? You've got to bear with me. I'm working overnights. I'm not quite caught up on all Krish school things.
Aruna, I called this meeting about Krish's progress. Miss Patel agreed. We should catch up for a bit.
Got it. Okay, I've got like a solid half hour before I need to be on call again, so let's do it.
I totally understand. So I'm really glad that Mr. Varma actually called me. I was going to send you both a note to see if we could catch up. But before I jump into what I want to share, do either of you have any questions for me?
Well, one thing I wonder, third grade is the year for multiplication, right?
Yes, it's typical that students master their times tables by the end of the year.
No doubt, Krish has already mastered those. These days on my commute, I'm seeing all these advertisements for Kumon. Dave, I know Preeti's kids go there and she says they're getting ahead, so they'll be in honors in 6th grade. Is Krish being challenged enough in your class or should we consider more options?
I would say challenged.
How about we let Miss Patel talk to us before we make any suggestions?
Well, see, if we want him to be in advanced classes, isn't now the time for him to buckle down? I can look into price and maybe next year when you find a job and things open up.
I'm not sure that's such a good idea.
He made top marks in 2nd grade. Surely that's just continuing. He's so quiet and studious all the time.
We don't give marks in 2nd grade, Mrs. Anand Varma. Not really. So I wouldn't take that as any metric of success.
It's doctor. And what do you mean?
I'm sorry, doctor.
You're working all the time. You don't see him like Miss Patel does, like I do.
So sorry, Miss Patel. I think my husband's a little stressed too. You have to understand, he lost his job at the beginning of the pandemic, and mine's just been a nightmare. So our roles had to reverse a bit.
A bit.
All right, maybe if I can talk a little more about what we're seeing with Krish, that might help. First, he's a really wonderful kid, as you all probably know. And I want to stress that. He's just so bright and loves talking about computers. But he doesn't really talk much during free time and kind of just fiddles around on his computer all day.
Yes, that's our boy. Loves his laptop. We'll expect he'll go into tech.
Oh, totally, of course, yes. But I did want to bring up, there are a couple of other things that I have, just been on my mind about Krish. He's actually having trouble making friends.
He has friends. Their names are, Dave will have their names.
I don't. Miss Patel's right.
Listen, Krish isn't really hanging out with any of the other kids in the class, or even when we're all together on the screen or in breakout rooms, he's just isolated.
So what? Everyone's isolated. It's a pandemic. Everything's on the screen.
Okay, but he tells me most times that he wants to be alone.
He's an only child. He's used to being alone. Why am I the only one talking here? Dave, what's going on?
You were at work all the time and I got concerned because I'm dealing with his school stuff all alone. I didn't know what to do. So I called Miss Patel and we talked, and that's why we're meeting. You know this, I told you this.
I must have just forgotten.
All right, listen, if I may add in, one thing Dave and I chatted about, I've also noticed is that when I ask kids to raise their hand and answer questions in class, Krish will give me an answer, but usually it's not related to the question that I was asking. I've talked about this with a couple other teachers who've also noticed kind of similar things, and we think that it's the best thing for you to both take Krish to get an evaluation. I don't know if you know what that is, but I know it may not be the easiest thing to actually come to terms with.
You mean like a gifted evaluation?
Aruna, you're not listening to us.
Well, clearly Krish is bored, and that's why he's acting this way. This is why I think something like Kumon could be good for him.
There's something wrong with Krish.
No, there's not. Nothing's wrong with him. When I see him, he's on the computer for school and he answers questions on Zoom chat. What could possibly be wrong?
You're right. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But if I can just, this is a really delicate, and I wish we didn't have to do this over Zoom. I just think we should reset our language, right? Nothing is wrong with anyone. There's not a normal or abnormal. There are just times that we might need to ask for some help.
Help?
Exactly, help. We all care about Krish here, right? He's been having a hard time in third grade, and I think we can make it better for him.
I didn't even know.
I told you I was worried about him.
I thought you were overreacting.
You don't listen.
I'm confused.
These tantrums he throws at home, Aruna, they're getting worse. It could be because of quarantine, but it might be something else. You don't see it. I'm with him all the time, watching him. I'm worried.
Okay, but what about the times tables?
He's had such trouble learning his timetables.
What number is he on?
Last I checked, yeah, he's gotten to his twos. That's what I was thinking. 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, and so on. He's gotten at least half of that string.
And what number is everyone else in the class on?
I don't think it's like productive to actually compare, each other's like scores.
What number?
Just tell her, Miss Patel.
All right. On average, most of the students have reached their 9s.
My baby.
Listen, it's the recommendation of the school, the Shady Grove Elementary, that you just take him to see a psychologist. That's it, or a developmental pediatrician.
No,
I'm sorry.
I do not support this.
Aruna, come on. Everyone's trying their best now.
Absolutely not. That's the way. He's stressed because there's a freaking global pandemic right now. And he's caught between a mom who's not home enough and a dad who worries too much. I have a medical degree, for crying out loud. I know if something was wrong with Krish. I will not have him put into a special class just because I wasn't home to help out these last few months.
Aruna, please.
Why is everyone ganging up on me? Ms. Patel, I appreciate your information. I'm wondering if instead of evaluating my son for a learning disability that you have no evidence for, we might try switching Krish to another third grade teacher in the school. And if that doesn't work, maybe private school will. I'm getting paged. I've got to run. Dave, text me if you need anything. I'll be home after lunch tomorrow.
I need you to do this. That she pulled the healthcare worker card. She
Mhm.
just,
Listen, the school would have paid for the evaluation and everything too. All she had to do was sign.
I know.
Do you think there's anything you could do that could change her mind?
Not when she's fired up like that. She's set in her ways, but she doesn't know. She doesn't see him like I do. She never has, Miss Patel. How come no other teachers has ever seen or been concerned about Krish's learning? Surely this didn't happen overnight.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to speculate too much about development, but these things happen over time, and I did read that a lot of Asian students are grossly underrepresented in special education.
I see.
Yeah, there's not a lot of us out there, Indian teachers, what I mean. But I'm trying to be better, trying to do the best I can, I just want to see Krish and see him feel better, like get him the help that he really needs if that's what they find. And I can see there's some sadness in him too.
Thank you. Hey, what if I sign the evaluation form myself? Just me. I mean, if they find nothing, then Aruna will never have to know I got him evaluated, right?
I mean, technically, yeah, but I don't know, Mr. Verma. I mean, this seems like a really sketchy territory because what if they do find something?
She's not listening to me. I have no other options. What do you think I should do?
Right. Well, you're asking the unmarried 20-something-year-old elementary school teacher here for marital advice, and I don't really think I have it for you.
Oh, of course.
But when it comes to kids, I have been doing this for a few years, and though I've never had kids of my own, the students, they sort of are like my own, third graders at least, and they're just so innocent, nothing is their fault. and especially none of this. And having to go to school on a computer for a year, no, I would do anything for them if they needed me to. And to my job the best I can, I have to urge you that you need to get Krish evaluated, like, whatever the cost.
Whatever the cost.
Yeah. So you know what? Drop the form off at the front office whenever you're ready.
I'm ready now.
Oh, okay then. Just email it over.
Cool.
Awesome. Got it.
And in the meantime,
Just, think positive thoughts, or sometimes I like to make a list in my head about other unrelated things when I'm stressed.
oh yeah,
Yeah, like, lately I do the times tables because I have to recite them for class every day. So the nines are the least intuitive, so I'll be at the grocery store waiting in line, and instead of freaking out about how close together everyone is and how much work is waiting for me at home, I kind of do the 9 times 1 is 9, 9 times 2 is 18, and so on.
I might have to borrow that.
Yeah, go for it. Make it a trend. But anyways, good luck, Dave. I'll keep you posted on the evaluation date.
Thank you, Ms. Patel. I mean it.
Of course, you're welcome.
9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 3 is 27.
So I think we will, with that thoughtful discussion, move on to our next scene of the night. So our next play is called Shadi.com. This play stars Sheila Raghavendran and Jack Lakowski and me. And so Sheila is my sister and Jack is my boyfriend. And so this was an interesting scene to do with the three of us working on it and rehearsing it together. Similarly, we've got a few discussion questions to keep in mind. You can put your thoughts in Zoom chat, you can WhatsApp them to us, or you can save your thoughts and unmute during the discussion after the scene, similar to what we just did. So the questions, which Vignesh has just put in the chat: in what ways do you think there is a culture of disconnect between the first and second South Asian generations here in the US? And how are folks thinking about bridging that gap? The second question: what does love mean to people who undergo arranged marriages? And does love mean the same thing for people who find a match through love marriages? Without further ado, we will start our second scene. Mom, we need to talk about this text that I got last night. Hi, Shreya. Shankar here. Your mom must have mentioned, but she inquired about my profile on your behalf on Shadi.com. Shall we set up some time to chat?
Shankar, which one is Shankar?
What do you mean, which one?
I messaged 8 to 10 boys last week. I just don't remember who is Shankar.
10 boys?
Let me go back to my messages.
Listen to me, Mom. I can't believe you did this again. I'll say it one more time. You cannot sign me up for Shadi.com without me knowing. And the same goes for every other dating app too.
That's right. Shankar Narayan, veterinarian, lives in Brooklyn, not too far from you. Pictures looked nice, from a good family. Astrology seemed to match.
This has to stop. I thought I made that clear the last time.
Well, when are you meeting him?
You're not serious.
You aren't getting any younger. 31 next year. It is time to settle down. I'm only trying to help.
We've been over this before.
Each of these matches, treat them as potential husbands. They could all be the one. Just meet him in the park and see.
I already have a match. My boyfriend, Nick.
I do not know what you mean by boyfriend.
Here we go again.
This is not our way.
We've been together for 2 years and
He
still.
is not Indian.
I love him.
What will others think?
If they cared, they would have said so by now. We've been living together for a year. We've spent all this time together in quarantine. He's trying to cook me Indian food and he's terrible at it. It's actually really cute. Look, at some point, we're going to get engaged.
I will not allow it.
Whether you allow it or not, it's going to happen.
You have broken my heart.
You broke mine back.
I don't know how to end the Zoom.
Stay on. I want to work this out.
I will not stay on if we're talking about this other boy.
Just agreed to meet him like once. Imagine if I tried to set you up with another guy when I knew you were with Dad.
This is different.
This is not different.
Your father and I are married. A match both of our families agreed to back in India. We followed the custom. We did what is right.
I met Nick at a party. We fell in love.
Think of the family in India. How will they react when they see the wedding invitation?
You make Nick sound like an alien. He's a real person, you know, and we have white friends. We know white people. If you just gave him a chance.
I do not want to entertain this.
He wants to learn about our culture.
I just want you to have an easy life. I want us to have an easy life.
He wants to know you. You two would probably get along.
An Indian match is what is best for you.
You don't get to decide what's best for me anymore. Ugh. Mom. Mom. I know you're there. I know you can still hear me. Why do you do this, Mom? You said it yourself. I'm getting older, you're getting older. We're spending my entire adulthood fighting. She's gone. You can come closer. It's okay.
I heard yelling. I wanted to just make sure you were doing okay.
Yeah,
I guess it didn't go well.
we spiraled like usual.
I'm sorry.
I am too. Hey, I'm gonna get some water. I'm gonna keep the Zoom going for a couple more minutes. Maybe she'll calm down and want to talk to me.
Is she still on?
She doesn't know how to end the Zoom.
Hi, Miss Srinivas. If you're still there, well, we'll keep the call going for a couple more minutes. Shreya, she'll be right back. Oh. It's me, Nick. You know, I've been trying to cook some Indian food during the quarantine. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. We don't have to talk. It's okay. It's okay.
Tell me the recipe.
Oh, hi.
Which dish?
Well, I was trying to make dosas with potato filling, but they came out a little thick.
Well, are you soaking the dal overnight?
Oh, the recipe online only said 4 hours.
4 is not nearly enough for crispy masala dosa. You need at least 6, preferably overnight.
Oh, okay. Let me. I'm gonna get something to write that down with.
It will be very tough to get your cooking to taste like authentic Indian home cooking, but maybe it can come close.
Mom?
Janu, do you have mustard seeds and cumin seeds?
What is going on?
Tell me, I'm thinking of his shopping list.
I don't think I have either.
You cannot do masala dosa without the proper spices. Here, I will say them, you write them down. You have an Indian grocery store nearby?
Yeah, there's one like 3 blocks away. Actually.
Shreya, you will go with him and help him find. Ready?
I'm ready.
You can call me Auntie.
Right, Auntie.
Turmeric, get 1 packet. Chili powder. There will be spicy, very spicy and mild spicy. I don't know what you kids like. Cumin seeds or jeera, mustard seeds. Yes, Janu.
Thanks.
The quality of the basmati rice at Indian stores is sometimes good, sometimes not good. Try to get Royal brand. They are the best. You will also need garam masala and a few other spices. Ready?